Yo guys, Paunchy here, and today I'm going to show you how I loop guitar on the Octatrack Mark II. Let's go! Alright, so first things first, I have my guitar plugged into input D. Now, I have my guitar going straight into an amp, and then from there I have the line out going into the Octatrack. Now, you can use your guitar just straight into the Octatrack. However, your signal will not be loud enough. So what we're going to have to do is go to the mix section. And as you can see, there's a gain section over here for input C and D. So if you're just using your guitar into input D, this is great because the gain goes all the way up to 63. Now, if you're plugging in your guitar directly, you're going to need all that extra gain. But for me, since I'm using an amp, I'm just going to set it to 15. Keep in mind that's for C and D inputs. So if you have something plugged into input C and you don't want all that extra gain, you're going to have to figure out a different way. But for now, I'm just going to do the guitar into the amp, straight into the Octatrack. Okay, so now I have a pickup machine set on track 7. So let's go ahead and do setup 1 for the pickup machine. Recording 7, setup 1. Now, again, I just have the guitar plugged into input D, so this would be this would make it mono. Recording length I have set to 64. Now the reason for that is because I don't want to have to press stop when I want it to stop looping because I'm going to be playing the guitar. It's extremely hard to be able to play and to hit the stop at the right time. So, why not make it easier on yourself? But I'll show you. Well, basically, 64 record length means 64 individual steps. So that would be the equivalent of 4 pages, or depending on how you have your scaling set up, of course. But all you need to know is that's 64 steps. So trig I have set to 1-2. That basically means that I can overdub the loop if I want to. So, and if I don't want to, you would have to press the stop button manually. Otherwise, it will keep overdubbing over and over. So, but at least, if you only want the one loop, pressing the stop after you've already finished playing is really easy. So, source 3, we're not sampling anything from the Octatrack, so that's off. Loop, yes, I do want the pickup machine to loop, of course, the guitar to loop. That's the whole point. Setup 2, set your fades, your in and out fades. That's what that means. Fade in, fade out to the lowest possible fade. So that way, it kind of makes it so you don't get any kind of clicks or pops or anything like that when you're looping your guitar. A and B monitoring, C and D monitoring. I'm not monitoring through the pickup machine. Now, these are the interesting parts. These are the most crucial settings to looping guitar on the Octatrack, in my opinion. Obviously, there's different ways to do it, but the way I have it set up, this is what makes it work, basically. So the quantized record is set to 16 steps. Now, this one's kind of hard to understand. I'll show you in action how it works, but basically that setting alone makes it so I don't have to press record 1 at the exact time that I want to start playing. I can basically hit record 1 and then, go over to my guitar and be ready to play by the time it actually, on the exact step that it starts recording. So I'll show you that in action. Quantized playback, that basically makes it so your loop will stay in time with all your other loops that you have going, all the other tracks. And if you have a setup like me, I have the Trinity with a digitact and an analog heat, you know, and I have everything hooked up via MIDI and synced together, that will make it so your loop will play in sync with not only the tracks on the Octatrack, but also the other machines as well. So, yeah. Okay, so we're done with the setup. Now, let's go ahead and, so first off, normally I have a beat playing from my digitact or my analog rhythm. So for this purpose, I'm going to go ahead and just turn on the metronome. Now that's for me to keep in time, because normally I would have a beat that would be keeping me in time. So we'll just turn on the metronome and pretend it's like a beat for this purpose. So, sorry, you go to Project, then you go to Metronome. Oh, it's in the Control section here. Go to Metronome. You want it to be active. Then go down. Make sure your main volume is not at 0, so you have some volume. As you can see, it has a Q volume. That would be supremely useful for someone who is just running an Octatrack and a guitar. And so basically, for the Q volume, you would be able to have your headphones plugged in and have the metronome come into your headphones, so that way you don't have to have the metronome going out to the crowd or to you know, into the computer or whatever you're doing. If you're recording or just messing around, the Q volume is what you'll want for that. So, all right, let's go ahead and loop something here. So if you press play, you can hear the metronome is playing. So back to that quantize record function. Let me stop the metronome for a sec. Basically, when I hit record, I try to hit record 1 around this area right here, because then the way I have it set up with the quantize record function, it's not going to start looping until the next 16 steps. I know it's kind of hard to understand, but if you try it and if you see it here, I think it'll make it a lot easier. So again, I try to hit record 1 around this area, you know, around these steps, so that way by the time it loops around to the 1 or to the second page, however you want to look at it, it'll start looping right there, and I'll be ready to play. I'll already be ready to play. So, all right, we'll start the metronome. Now I'm going to try and hit record 1 around this area, and then it'll start looping once it comes around again. So. Go ahead and we'll do a different loop there. That one really wasn't on time. So here we go. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and quickly turn off the metronome just so you guys can hear. There we go. So now, as you can see, the looper's going. It's only 64 steps because of the playback length that we set. It's currently overdubbing, so I'm gonna hit stop so it stops overdubbing. But that's basically it. And then you can stop it with pickup stop here. And as you can see, even if you stop it, it's not going to stop the sequencer. So the cool thing about that is, you know, you could have other stuff going, you could have other tracks going, and you could just stop the guitar there. And if you wanted to start it again, notice how I pressed it around this area, but it didn't start playing until the next time around. which makes it super helpful for making sure it's on time, so you don't have to worry about that kind of thing. However, when you stop it, it'll stop wherever you press it. But here, you watch it. Watch one more time. I'll try to press it around here, and then the loop won't start until it comes back around. So here we go. Notice how it's not playing? Boom, it starts playing right on the 1. So that's basically how I loop guitar. You'll just have to pretend that the metronome is like a beat or something in this video, and so that way you can see kind of how I normally do it. I'll make more videos about this because I know this is a really tough subject. All I know is for me, it was really hard to get into looping on the Octatrack with the guitar because I wasn't exactly sure. It took me a while to learn exactly how the looper functions. But now, once you know what each setting does, the Octatrack will do whatever you want. It's probably one of the most amazing, if not the best sampler, sequencer, box ever made in history. And I mean, the fact that you can loop things like guitar and other stuff, makes it supremely useful to me. So, there's tons of things you can do with this loop now that it's done. You can actually go over to the slice grid, and as you can see here, this is my guitar loop. And don't let the effects fool you. I forgot I have my FX1 and 2 on right now on track 7. FX2 is just a little bit of delay, and FX1 is just a filter. Normally I have it set to a phaser, but that's the beauty of it, is now that you have your loop, you can do whatever you want. Some other cool things you can do is basically, here, I'll stop this. You can have the looper play the guitar in reverse, which to me sounds really cool. So you can play it here. The direction is currently forward, but if I set it to reverse, it'll reverse it the next time around. So stuff sounds really cool. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for now. So I'll do more videos on this stuff. This is just one way you can loop on the Octatrack with guitar. To me, this is the easiest way to get into it because of the fact that you don't have to be pressing this button exactly. Again, if you're used to looping guitar with a loop pedal, you know how hard it is, that you have to press the pedal right when you start playing and press the pedal, at the exact time. The timing is important, basically, is what I'm saying. In this method, the timing is not important. The timing of when you hit the record is not important with these settings. So, but anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'm going to head out. And I'll make another video on this stuff. Hope this helped you guys a little bit. Feel free to leave any comments down below if you have any more questions. If you have any requests for something specific in regards to the Octatrack or any other of the Elektron gear, definitely leave me a comment down below and I'll get back to you. And yeah, so leave a like if this video gave you some value, and feel free to subscribe if you want more of these types of videos. And I will see you next time.